want to say one thing about this as we enter this new Epstein files period, with emails coming out like crazy, more evidence coming out like crazy, and Donald Trump being backed more and more into a corner and saying over and over again, I barely knew the guy. We lived in the same area, but we, barely knew each other, despite the hundreds of photographs of them together and the overwhelming evidence that they were very close friends for years. And I want to apologize in advance. There's some really hard to hear details in this video, but it's so very important that we understand how flagrant Jeffrey Epstein's abuse of girls was. And if you have read Virginia Giuffre's book, you know that nobody who knew Jeffrey Epstein was unaware of what he was doing if they spent more than an hour or two with him. He was a sex addict who had thousands of women coming in and out of his house. Virginia Giuffre said that Ghislaine Maxwell was out basically every day finding him new victims, and then once they had those victims were then coerced into going out and finding new victims. It was a factory. It was in and out all the time, girls coming and going. He had naked photos of girls all over his house. He had a trophy room filled with stacks of photos of naked girls and also videos of them and the men that he forced them to sleep with and himself. You could not have known this guy more than as a passing acquaintance without being well aware he was a predator and an animal. And you could say, well, there were people at his parties or who flew on his plane who might not have known. Okay, that's fine, but that's not Donald Trump. We know these two were deeply enmeshed in their lives together. It's a very different thing. There's no way Donald Trump didn't know and approve. Because if he didn't approve, he would have been out of that relationship. I mean, wouldn't you? So as we enter a phase where Trump's last defense becomes, I didn't know what he was doing, remember, it's bullshit. Jeffrey Epstein flaunted his behavior to everyone who was in his orbit because they were doing it too. Or if they weren't doing it, they were enabling it or pretending that they didn't see what was right in front of their faces. Now, knowing what we know about Trump, it is far more likely that he is one of the people who was actually participating in this behavior. But even if he wasn't, knew exactly what was happening because everyone close to Epstein did, that much is indisputable. So do with that information as you will.